All right, so I added um, this improvement to the envelope editor where you can um, modify the curves in between the points like this. And I added that, and then I got completely sidetracked and started refactoring things for about 2 months or something. And there's one thing that I didn't do for this edition, which is when you select individual points, this extra toolbar appears down here, so you can modify the point like this by just typing something in, um, like this, or moving about with the slider. But for the segments, there's no such toolbar yet because I didn't create one, and I think that's the only thing I have to do for this new envelope editor. So I basically rewrote the entire envelope editor. Oh no, there's one other thing actually. I noticed this morning, which is now when you have 2 points right next to each other, it doesn't draw the vertical line, and that's because I had a little investigate already, and I changed the way that I changed everything to do with the envelope editor. Part of why I changed was the way that the line is drawn, because previously it was just drawing straight lines between these points. But now what I do is I separate the line into segments and then draw each segment individually. And then each segment is drawn by calculating a bunch of straight lines, basically the minimal number of straight lines that I need in order to represent a curve in a way that looks passable as a curve. So I separate the line into curve and then draw each curve individually in its own way. And I'm just not accounting for this situation, I guess. So I guess I'll fix that first, which I think I have a bunch of files open at the moment, which I don't need. Or do I need to be looking at the envelope? Drawing stuff. So draw line happens here. Draw line segment. So no, this is not. Make segments. So I make all the segments first, and then I draw them afterwards. I remember now. Okay, so it's this function, which is wrong. Basically, I need to be checking. I wouldn't normally solve things this quickly, but it's because I already looked at this morning. So I have 2 points here, and I just need to check if the x positions are the same, and then do something different. So I'm just going to do that right at the top here, I guess. If p0x is equal to p1.x, these are floating point values though, and you're not supposed to equality check floating point values really. So I guess I'll just do the classic thing of subtracting one from the other abs, and then compare it against the threshold, which would be 1 pixel, which is what I'm checking. So it would be wait, am I in screen space at the moment? I think. Oh yeah, interact. So this is in screen space. So even though they're floating point values, sometimes I think they will not be exact 1, 2, 3 or whatever. They can be fractional values. So let's just say 1 pixel. I think it's fine. And what do I want to do instead? So I'm outputting. What am I doing? Segment. What is this data type? This is the output for this function. I'm outputting a segment to be drawn, and a bool specifying whether or not the user can interact with it. And this is the list of points that make up the line segment. So all I want to do is this. So our interactable is not points. This is a Godot pool vector array, I think, yes. Because it's going to be passed to the Godot drawing routines. So it just needs to be. Oh, hold on. Right, and this is the Go value. Okay. Okay, so it's quite simply this. If I can type. There we go. That should fix the vertical line problem. There we go. Look at that. Brilliant. Okay, so now I will commit that. Fix editor vertical line bug. So now I'll look at the toolbar. So basically I'm just going to copy paste what I did here for the point toolbar. And then change it to work for the segments. It's basically because I have an X and Y value again, so it's going to be pretty much the same. So I need to remind myself how this. Also, I just noticed. I think I used to have like a vertical line in between. This is part of the stuff that I've refactored, so I've had to sort of like throw everything away and then build it up again to look the same as it did before. But I think with the old version of Blockhead, there used to be a vertical line separating these toolbars that get added down here to differentiate them, and there isn't anymore. Because I'm representing these toolbars in a different way. I'm pretty sure it's called rigid toolbar. Is this? I think it all happens in code. There's no Godot scene here involved. It's all. Toolbar panel. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Toolbar panel starbox. I think I used to have this shadow around the outside, and that's what I don't have anymore. Let's see. No. It looks the same. Oh, border. Oh. Right. I had a 1 pixel border to the right of it. So I was using this style box previously before I refactored things. I remember doing this though, like years ago when I first created this stuff. I set this 1 pixel border for this style box. So that there would be a separator between each of these little toolbars. Let me just check. Toolbar panel. Starbox is toolbar panel starbox. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at here. Why is that not working? I'm not sure. So I'm just thinking. What? There's definitely nothing. So I'm just peering closely at my monitor in case I'm blind, but there's no. So this step size section is a separate. I have this concept called rigid toolbar, which is like it's like a sub toolbar for this block footer. So the step size, these two controls here are part of one rigid toolbar, and then the envelope range, the min max is a second rigid toolbar. So there should be a vertical line separating these two rigid toolbars and then another one at the end. And I was achieving that previously just by having a 1 pixel border on the right of this style box. That's not showing up for some reason. Actually, I've just noticed that the style box is not being drawn at all. Because I can see, well, let me just so it's easier to see on the video. So I have this like zigzaggy pattern for the footer, and the rigid toolbar background shouldn't have that. It should just be like a grey color, and then that vertical line I was talking about on the right. So you can see the style box isn't being drawn at all. So that's probably just me not drawing the style box in code. Oh, well, I'm doing this style box override because it's a panel, right? It's a panel. It's a container, and I'm doing sort children. Set minimum width of this. How does this work? Panel. That should be it. If you have a panel like this, for example. Custom styles panel. Hold on, let's have a look at panel. There it is. So the style box is being set for this panel. Rect size 0. Okay. Well, that explains that. I usually do this on 2 monitors, but just so we can see what's happening. The problem, I believe, is the panel just has. Where am I? Getting lost. Okay. Oh, right, yes. So if I like manually increase this, then yeah, suddenly we see the panel back there. Oh. Right. Right. Yes. But I'm setting these anchors. The panel should, okay. When I set the minimum width of the root element of this rigid toolbar node, it should automatically increase the size of the panel because I'm doing this. That doesn't seem to be occurring. maybe that doesn't work until after it's been added to the scene tree, because this is occurring before the toolbar has been added to the scene tree, and this is afterwards. So this is just a complete guess. Like, I will never fully understand Godot. But I've seen this kind of thing before, so it's just an intuitive guess. Why am I getting linking error? Okay. No, that doesn't make a difference. I mean, I could just why would that not work? I don't know why that doesn't work. Sometimes it's more difficult when you're just doing everything in code, because this entire node that I'm dealing with here doesn't have a Godot scene file associated with it, so I can't look at it in the editor and figure out what's happening. It's all happening in code, which a lot of the time there's advantages to doing it this way, but sometimes you don't have a nice visual representation of what's happening. So this should just do it for me. Hold on. Am I going crazy? Am I going completely... Where are we? Yeah. Oh, this does have the width, but this doesn't. Anchor right, margin right, minus 128. Hold on now. Wait. Am I going insane? Hold on. Right. I think I understand what's happening. Possibly. If I just set this to 0 and this to 0, then we don't end up with any weird initial margin state for the panel. Again, I'm mostly just guessing here. Didn't make any difference. What is actually happening? Alright, well, fuck it. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna... I think that line that I had, the anchors and margins, it should just make it happen for me automatically, but whatever, I'll just... set width. Hold on, width. This. Oh yeah. Width of the panel. Set it to the same width. I still do need that. I need something. Yes, I want to reload it. Okay. Wait, what did... Yeah. Okay. I still need the panel to follow the parent node in terms of the height. What's happening here? Children root catch. Hold on. Oh, I see. Oh my god! I didn't even look at that code to see what it was doing. Oh, you fucking idiot! Right. Okay. I'll explain what's happening. So this is a Godot node called a container, which is what the VBox container and all those the box containers and all those are based on. And the way you implement a container is you implement this on sort children. You handle the sort children signal. And what you're supposed to do with the sort children signal is iterate through all the children and lay them out in the way that you want. And so I'm looking at all the children of this node, including the back panel that I create. And I'm not including the back panel. I'm not like filtering out the back panel. When I lay out the children, I don't want to lay out the panel as if it's a child because it's just like a visual element. So I'm supposed to be checking in this loop. I'm supposed to be going if child instance ID equals root tree panel instance ID, then just ignore it because it's not a child that I'm trying to lay out. So it was being laid out as if it was a child, and so it was fucking everything up. Let's put it like that. So that explains why those anchors and margins were not doing what I expected them to do. There we go. Look, they look normal now. See? Brilliant. Okay, so that's that fixed. What did I actually change there? That's not a change. Was not changed. Yeah, that's fine. So fix rigid toolbar back panel not being visible. Whatever, don't care. Okay, now. Alright. So envelope toolbar. If I remember correctly, this class is a horrible mess. But this is the controls that appear in the footer when the envelope editor is open. And so I need to add a new type of... I basically want to copy... This is the point edit toolbar. And I just want to copy paste this and create a segment edit toolbar. So let's start by... So I'm just on my second monitor at the moment. I'm just going to create some new files. I have no idea. Where is this? Controls, envelope editor, toolbars. Alright, I've just created some new files. Point edit. There we go. Alright, and if I remember correctly, this is not written in a particularly good way, but it's not very big, so I don't care. So I'm going to go through all this and change the word point to segment. And what's this? Oh, yes. Okay. I don't know how that's going to work. So, okay, I actually have to read this code to remind myself how it all works. Okay. All right. Okay, so for the X and Y of this segment, I just want to create two generic spinners, which I guess would go from minus 100% to plus 100%. So, wait, how did the... Good God, this is a mess. Oh, I remember this stuff. Okay. This is fine. I want that as well. This is where I go really quiet, because I'm actually actually doing programming now. Make bipolar percentage spinner. I'm just going to put this in this file for now. It's fine. Don't need any of that. Yeah. Bipolar. Right. So I think I just have functions for all of this. Where is it? Tweak percentage. Because all of this stuff is already sorted out for the plugin, all the plugin stuff. I have this library called Tweak, which deals with basically this stuff, like when the user clicks on a slider and moves the mouse up and down by however many pixels, how much should it increment? How much should it decrement? What are the min and max values that it should be constrained to, and how do you convert the number to a string that appears on the screen? That kind of stuff. I have it all just stuffed into this library. So that's what's going on at the moment. I only have one thing in here because the rest is just wait, does this handle negative percentages? Because I want this to be a value from negative 100% to a plus 100%. I want it to be displayed that way on the screen. I don't know if this actually does that. Oh yeah, that'll work, I guess. So this is a normalized value from 0 to 1. Oh no, it won't work, will it? No, I just didn't implement these functions for the bipolar variant. Which I guess I could just do now. Or I could just use that function to convert it. So, no, that won't be any good, will it? This is where my brain stops working because I know that I'm recording myself and I have autism or whatever, whatever the fuck it is. So my brain just shuts down. Like normally it wouldn't shut down quite as much. Yeah, that works. So I can do this. Tweak. Convert. You need to buy. Which converts a value. It's essentially converting a value that goes from 0 to 1. It's converting it to a value from -1 to 1. I think. That's returning a standard string. Okay, fine. How does this work now? Okay, this should be find a floating point number. Oh, and that's the wrong. This is a function for converting a Godot string to a standard string because the built-in way of doing that the bindings layer provides is a buggy piece of shit, and you'll just get heap corruption if you use it. That's my experience. So I just wrote my own. Yeah, this is fine, I think. Right. Oh. Well, I can actually just use this now. From string. So this will find negative numbers. And then divide by 100. So if it's like negative 0.5, or if it's negative 50%, for example, then it will convert to negative 0.5, which is not what I want, actually, because I need to, again, convert it. Right, I don't have a conversion in the opposite direction, do I? How does that work? By to uni. I noticed that I didn't have this already, but so to get from we do by plus 1 divided by 2. Do I have that? Yes. A lot of these functions I think I've like defined 10 different times in various libraries. Anyway, return percentage bipolar constraint. I do have this function. This precise boolean specifies whether or not the user currently has the, I think it's either the shift or the control key held down, and then it will increment or decrement in smaller increments. Just checking. All right. Okay. Same thing here. All right, now this is different. I'm not sure I actually have actions set up for this. Action set point segment value. I only have an action for setting both the X and Y at the same time, which is this one. So I could add separate actions like I did for the points. I have set point X and set point Y. Or I could simply do this. So that's registering a undo redo action, so that the act of changing the value via this spinner can be undone and redone. And then this changing callback is what happens while the user is dragging the slider and they haven't released the mouse button yet. I don't create a separate undo redo for like every pixel that they move the mouse, but I do need to still update the slider while that's happening. So it doesn't create an undo value, but it just sets the value. So again, what do I actually have here? Segment set point segment value. Yeah, again, I have to do the same thing. But I only need to do it once this time. Okay. Don't index. Same thing, same thing. On env points changed, blah blah blah. Now this is going to be point segment value x, segment value y. Oh, whatever. That's a lot of guesswork, but I think that's correct. This, I'm going to get rid of this struct. I noticed this earlier, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Segment hit. Okay. Cute. Oh yeah, so the point edit toolbar sometimes exists and sometimes it doesn't, which makes it a tiny bit awkward here compared to the other controls on this toolbar. So can I... And that's that function, okay. Right. A lot of this code I don't understand because I sort of wrote it a little while ago. I'm just sort of trusting that it, because I know the segment the segment toolbar is basically going to be the same as the point toolbar. So if I just copy paste everything in a really naive way, it should be fine. Like, it should work. Selected segment, yeah. Let me just hold on. Let me just read this code. Oh my god! Oh my god! I remember this. This code's kind of hairy. I don't like it, but it's fine for now. So when I construct the toolbar, it's going to be automatically added to the parent node, which is this flexbox thing that I have. And then when I close that toolbar, I'm explicitly removing it. So I have like an asymmetrical add child, remove child going on here because I don't see the add child in this function, but it's happening when this line of code executes. And I don't, what do I pass in here actually? Yeah, these are correct arguments. Oh yeah, and the z index. So this is the like where in this flexbox. Flexbox is my own control that I made. It's the well, it's the toolbar with controls in it that when you make the block too small to show all the controls, it automatically hides them. It's that thing. I call it a flexbox. So the z index is just specifying what position it should be in the flexbox. So I'm saying it's a 4 because the point edit toolbar was, well, it could just be 3 again actually because they're never going to be visible at the same time. Might as well just put it 3. Okay. Trying to figure out in what context this is actually being called. I spelled it wrong. There's two block types. Well, there's 4 block types that have this envelope toolbar. But 3 of them are handled by a like parent class in a polymorphic hierarchy. So there's 2 places that I need to deal with this. Oh, I wrote myself a to-do. How nice. I actually wrote myself a to-do for this exact thing that I need to do. Okay. Selected segment. There we go. Well, that was easy. And I have to deal with that in the manipulator, but I haven't finished refactoring the manipulator yet. So I'll have to do that again for manipulator blocks. But that manipulator blocks are in the current state of the code base are just completely broken. They're not working because I haven't finished the refactor. Okay. Hold on, what am I looking at now? Set selected. Oh yeah, of course. Okay. Right. So I need this. Where is this be called? I don't get it. Oh, here. On envelope point selected. Ah, yeah, yeah. On envelope point selected. Right. Um, I don't see where. I feel blind. This isn't being called anywhere. How is this working? I don't understand how this works. What are my build errors right now? Ah, I don't see where this is being called. It must be getting called somewhere. What? Oh, I don't think it is. I don't think I need to call that. Because I'm just doing it through this envelope controller instead now. This is another part of my... When I rewrote the envelope editor, I try to improve things in various ways. So I think there's some leftover dead code. What's wrong with this? Oh, it's an option. Okay. Where was that? I don't remember where that was. Here. Oh, how do I deal with the fact that this can fail? How was I dealing with that? What do I return? I mean, oh, return null opt. Yeah. I remember. This is all coming back now. Then I'm gonna forget it all again. Uh, hello? Okay. It's building. I don't know why. Hold on. Whoops. Hey, it got to that point. Yeah, this function that I found, this has not been called anyway. It's not needed anymore. It's like a hangover from the old code. On the envelope point selected, I just remove anything with this name because it's not. This is all a load of bullshit. I think I'm right about that. If I compile now, I'll just compile fine because it's not called by anything. Okay, what's happening now? Oh shit! The toolbar showed up and then it displayed a very weird number for a moment. Okay, so what I'm expecting is, oh, I'm not. I didn't do. I didn't do anything about calling this function. Um, so that should happen in where? Here? No, I did do it. It was right here. Hey. Oh, right. Is it because I'm literally not emitting that signal? Is it here? Is it a signal? I have a horrible feeling it is. It must, yeah, it must be emitting the signal because otherwise nothing else would work. What's going on? Oh, first of all, I'm using the wrong values here. Point segment value x. I'm just sort of eyeballing things to see if anything jumps out on like why this would not be updating. Don't know. Let's have a look. So the point toolbar updates when I do that, but this one does not. Actually, it must have updated at least once because it's showing these percentages as percentages. Um, yeah, look, it is. It's updating. So it's getting to here. Oh, wow, look at that. Ooh. That's surprising. I don't understand how this is possible. Get point. Interesting. How does this work? Like this? No. Segment value. The fuck is happening? What? Point index 1. Hold on now. Right, I'm passing in the point index rather than the segment index. Selected segment 1. Right, but I'm supposed to subtract. Okay, so hold on. I'll explain the explain my thought process here. So the way the new like segment curve information works, the way it's encoded is if you set a curve between 2 points, it's stored against this left hand point. So this point has the x value, the y value, and then another 2 values now, the x and y of the curve. So this point, for example, does not have any. Well, it has like the default segment value, and it's not being used. So you always need at least one user-defined point to the left and the right of the curve. So that's why it's okay to just store it against the left-hand point. So now I'm thinking that this, when I open the segment edit toolbar, I'm passing in an index of 1 because it's technically the way I've done things. This is segment 0, which is like not interactable by the user, and this one is segment 1. If I had another section here, this would be segment 2, and then I have segment 3 over here, which again, it's a segment, but it's like not user interactable, but it sort of exists conceptually as a segment. So I'm passing in 1 because this is segment 1, but this is actually 0.0 because I do things in a different way for points. It kind of makes sense, I guess, the way I've done things. First of all, the thing I want to do is, I've just noticed I want to change this word point to segment. I never did that, which is really stupid of me. This is a segment index. Segment. Right. So I need to subtract 1 to get the point. I do want to get the point. I'm getting the segment value from the point, and so I need to get the point index, which is always 1 less than the segment index. So, okay, that was my bug. So that's what's going on here. Segment. No. Again, this is -1. Right, let's do this properly, so I'm not confusing myself. Point index. And now let's carefully look through. Get point segment value. This should be point index point. The rest of this is correct. If again, let's create an explanatory variable here. Okay, that was just me doing things too quickly and not concentrating. Possibly because I'm recording myself for the first time and I'm not used to it. What is this function for? I'm not calling this function, am I? Why do I have this function? Let's get rid of it. And I don't think I call this function either on the point edit toolbar. Oh, no I do. Why am I called set? Oh, no, I do need that function, but it just needs to be called get segment index, which it wasn't now. Okay. All right. Fine. Okay. All right, we should be done. Okay. Yes. Ah, it goes off the edge. And there as well. Okay. It's actually kind of interesting. But I'm not going to allow it. So I need to clamp that correctly. That makes sense because I'm using the old where was it? Oh yeah, in here. No, it doesn't make sense because I'm actually... How is this working? Oh, is that really how I do things? I want to change that, but I don't know if it'll break anything. So, fuck it, I'll just... this value being passed in here is a value from 0 to 1. And then I'm treating it as if it's -1 to 1. So again, I need to convert it. This function shouldn't be written like this, I think. But if I change that, I don't know if it's going to break any of the plugins. So, because I used bipolar. Oh, it shouldn't do, should it? Because I don't think I used this tweak library for the plugins. Do I? I can't remember. So, for now, I will just do this. That should solve that. And also, I noticed that. I kind of want to stepify the values. What I mean by that, I'll just show you what I mean by that. What I mean by that is I have so many decimal places after the point. Maybe that's okay. I don't... 3 is a bit much. Usually I'd round it down to like 1. For a percentage that goes from -100% to plus 100%. I think in other places, like in the plugins and things, I would round that down to like 1 decimal place. I think it's fine. So I should be able to actually double click now. Ah. That's meant to... What even happened there? Whoa, this is broken. So I'm clicking and dragging upwards now. And for the first like 500 pixels it doesn't do anything and then it starts to increase. I should be able to double click to reset to the default value, which should be 0. And that's not happening either. Oh, what the fuck? Well, that's still not fixed. Wait, I thought I just fixed that. What is happening here? I don't know what's going on. Constrain. Clamp. Oh, and then I need to convert it back. Yeah. This is... This is really how this works. It's just been a while since I dealt with these sliders. So it's working now. I should be able to double click. It's saying it's a minus 100 when I double click. Oops. Double click. Double click. Setting it to a default of 0. How do the defaults work with the sliders? I don't remember. How the hell does it work? Do I have to set a default value? Oh, it's just got a function. Right. Am I doing that? No, I'm not. I'm not doing that for the point either, which I should be. I'll test that in a second. Well, let's test it right now. I think this is also a problem for the point editor. The default... Right, the default is 0, but that's just a coincidence. Because it's always 0 if you don't specify anything. But I should be specifying it to the default for this parameter, which is pitch. Like for amp. Oh, hello. What's this? What just happened? Ah. So I thought this would happen much sooner actually, which is I thought I would start recording this video with a plan of what I was going to work on and then run into a bug and then get sidetracked by the bug. I thought that was going to happen really quickly, but it took ages. So what was I doing there? I had a point selected and then I switched to this parameter. Yeah. Which doesn't have any points yet, and then it's trying to index into a point that doesn't exist. Okay. Selected point. Is it because I'm not resetting it, yeah? Right, open an envelope. I should do this when an envelope is opened. Not going to think too hard about this. So I don't want to work on like really complicated issues while I'm recording myself. Not just yet, at least. So possibly I should be thinking more carefully about how I should address this issue that I just ran into. But for now, this should solve it, I think. Because sometimes a fix is not necessarily the correct fix. But yeah, that solves it. So I'm just forcing a deselect of the current point and the current segment every time an envelope is opened, which is, I think, probably, yeah, it's probably what I should be doing that anyway. Okay. What the fuck was I doing before I got sidetracked by that crash? What was I doing? Oh yeah, it was something to do with this. uh, the default. Oh yeah, yeah. I wanted to see. Okay, if I double click this again, it goes to the correct place. Where's the default? These are all going to be. All right, whatever. I know what I have to do, which is set default value to envelope get defaults value. Not that one. This one. Okay. And for segments, the default is always 0.5 because that's just the way I've set things up. So hopefully this is the end now and I can stop recording and relax. Because this was a bit of a test to see how comfortable I am talking into a microphone. And the answer, it turns out, is not very comfortable. So double click. Yes, goes to the middle. Double click here. Goes to the middle. Good. All right, end of video. Let's turn this off. Okay.